Hello everyone and welcome back to ChristianMommyBlogger.com. Today we are talking about cloth wipes. We are in the middle of our cloth diapering series, and I thought that instead of taking tons of pictures of me getting cloth wipes ready and making my solution, it would just be easier to show you on a video. So let's get right down to it. For one thing, I like to use a soft fabric for my wipes. Obviously it's on our little baby's bottom. What I do is I have extra receiving blankets. I literally had about 30 receiving blankets, and I took some of the older ones that were a little bit more ragged or stained and that didn't have sentimental value, and I cut them into about 10-inch by 10-inch squares. And I also use old t-shirts. My husband's in the military, so he has lots of undershirts. And once they are, he's not wearing it anymore, they usually just become rags, but I've cut them up. They sometimes curl once you've cut them. If that bothers you, you might not want to use t-shirts. It's a wipe, it doesn't bother me. So, as for how many you need, cut a bunch, and if you notice you're running out before you need to wash diapers, cut more. It's not an exact science. Once they are just dry like this, when I pull them out of the dryer, I put them in. I happen to use this sack. This is actually a really cute thing that Jack Be Natural uses if you buy diapers or anything from them. Inside your box is always the cute little packaging. Everything comes inside its little knapsack with a little sample of their Crunchy Clean detergent. It smells wonderful. Anyway, out of the dryer, I throw everything in here and I store them all in this little sack. Now, this is where, my next step is where you have two different options, in my opinion. I originally started making spray bottles for my wipes, and what I would do was, no, I did not hose down my baby. I actually would just take the wipe out each time. So I always brought this bag and then my diapers with me, and that's what I would do at my diaper changing table. What I found about this is when you're spraying, the wipe isn't getting completely saturated, and when you use an actual store-bought baby wipe, it's completely wet. It's not a little bit damp and wet in spots. It's completely wet, so it gets a nice moist cloth to clean your baby. I found that spraying just doesn't do that, and I don't want to sit and diligently pump over and over again until I get it wet enough. So what this is nice for is for just quick touch-ups if you want to just spray it and clean your baby. Also, you can use the method I'm about to tell you that I pour in this spray bottle and pour it in a bowl. I just have simplified it even more with 2 kids and my life getting even crazier. I just needed one less step. So both methods, presenting them to you, you decide what works for you. So method number 1, I would take a spray bottle. I would take, now it's mostly water, almost everything I do is very diluted. I would take about 1 teaspoon of Castile soap. I'm going to be telling you all more about Castile soap in the future, but for now, it is a very wonderful soap. It is gentle, and you can use it for just about anything. I have a baby Castile soap, which has no scents, no coloring or anything. That's what I use with my children. This one is hemp and tea tree. I specifically got this because tea tree is very soothing. It helps calm redness on your skin and just comfort and soothe skin and irritations. If you have pimples, it is just a wonderful cure for your skin. Well, I have tea tree oil, and I was going through too much of it, and essential oils are on the pricier side. So anyway, you take your spray bottle, add about a teaspoon, 1 to 2 teaspoons of soap, about 1 tablespoon of olive oil or jojoba oil. You don't have to use extra virgin since it is more expensive. If you found that you have an olive oil that you don't have a specific liking for, I'm picky about the way my olive oil tastes, use the one that you don't really like for your babies or just your skin, in any way that you want to use that. And so we have 1 teaspoon of soap, about 1 tablespoon of oil, and then this is where your liking for certain smells comes into play. In this specific formula, I would use maybe only 1 to 2 drops of tea tree oil because there is tea tree oil in the soap already. I would use probably 3 to 4 drops of grapefruit extract. The reason is because it smells like a little piece of heaven, and even though you have tea tree oil in here, which is a very strong smell, the grapefruit just kind of helps cut down on that, and it does have some good skin properties in it as well. The last is lavender. I think lavender essential oil has a place in just about everything, whether it's foods or perfumes, cleaners around the house, air fresheners, anything. Lavender, I don't know anyone, actually I've never met a person that didn't like lavender. I put 6 to 8 drops of this in one bottle. It just makes the house smell so good when I'm changing diapers, which is not a common occurrence, I'm sure. Once you're done with this, just fill it up with warm water, somewhat warm, so that it dissolves everything and mixes all the ingredients. Make sure to use very low pressure. If you use too much pressure, the soap is going to suds up, it's going to overflow, and it's going to take you forever. Then you have a bottle that's good as a quick spray cleaner for your kids, and it's nice for after lunch or after breakfast or dinner. And you can actually spray it on their hands and wipe off their hands with a cloth if you actually wanted to get more of a cleanup than just using a kitchen rag or something. So that's what I was doing, and it works wonderfully, and I do still like to do that process. But I have found that this is my favorite solution, and my husband absolutely loves it as well. What I do is I have this old Tupperware bowl. I take this bowl and I do about 2 drops, hardly any, of this Castile soap, and I love the hemp and tea tree again because the tea tree is already in it. I'm not using any essential oils, and it is a huge money saver. So I take a few drops into this, I add warm water, swirl with my finger, done. That's it. So what I do is I take at a time. I leave it about half full because you don't want to set it out by the changing table and have it get kicked and ruin all of your, well, who cares about the solution? Now you have water everywhere. So I just take a couple cloths, maybe 5 or 6 at a time, and put them in here. I don't even dunk them under the water, and I close the lid. It helps keep the water from evaporating, and I put this by my changing table. Throughout the day I tend to leave the lid just on and cracked, but what you'll find is it absorbs all the water, and before you go to change the baby, wring the water out, so now the good water is still staying in there for the next batch. And now you have a saturated cloth that smells like tea tree oil, and it's wonderful, and it has the soap in it, but it's such a mild soap that it doesn't leave a buildup, so you can feel comfortable using it on your baby to break through the urine and anything else that's on your baby's bum after their diaper change. Keep using it until the water is all gone. As soon as I'm using done using wipes, I just add more wipes in there. And this transports with us upstairs. So if we're downstairs doing diaper changes and then we go upstairs, we just take this with us. It's in a Tupperware lid, so it's not going to break. And that is my super easy, quick diaper changing wipes routine. Thank you.